Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this or Cimnanya, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying massive shout out to every one of you for the support, the love you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about Michael, right? And who actually came out to call black people, women of color out. Black woman was also there. Why was he calling them out? Because they are against what is going on in Israel, and they are actually calling people out or calling Israel out to cease fire from what they are doing. I mean, the genocide they are committing. And this man thought it was okay to come out, to start calling them out and start saying that they're anti-Semitic and saying so many racist things to do. I mean, so many things to say about them. And people are like, who were the ones that gave you this platform? Because you came at Trump and the Republicans. We gave you the views, we gave you the like, we gave you a platform, and now you want to use that same platform to call people out over something they are doing that is good. And why is he even calling them out when they are doing the right thing? They are calling out Israel and the people in support of them to cease fire over what they are doing to Israel and Gaza. I mean, killing innocent kids. Why do people think, I mean, it is okay to sit down and watch a whole genocide happen on people? And then not because you are anti this, you are anti that, you do not want to talk. See, like I keep saying now, that we keep saying it, it only takes a human to speak up when something is going wrong, when you see people dying, kids, children are dying, and you think you want to sit back in your own this thing and relax and watch all this play when people, black people and other women of color are coming out to say this is not supposed to be happening. And you think it's okay to be racist to them. Let's get into this video.
Just like you could criticize and not agree with the Israeli government and it doesn't make you anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic, I can criticize people in the Democratic Party and it doesn't make me anti-Democratic Party. Not that I'm a Democrat. Don't get it twisted. I ain't a fucking Democrat. I ain't a Republican. I don't like any of you. I don't trust any of you. But AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news fucks, you're just as bad as Muppet Face Marjorie Taylor Greene, except I haven't come up with nicknames for you yet. Take down that fucking bullshit, you fucking Jew haters. You hate the Jews. You've always hated the Jews. It's been one of your agendas to perpetuate Jew hate. Take down your fucking fake news tweets. Rescind your fucking comments. Rescind your fucking fake news statements. You're in government, you motherfuckers. You're just as bad as Muppet Face, miserable Marjorie Taylor Greene. The squad, the biggest fucking squad of Jew haters the United States government has ever seen. Rescind those fucking statements, you fucking sick Jew haters, you. Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news.
This is why I say there's no fucking cookout, because y'all like to extend invitations to people who at their very core are still very much a white person. Doesn't matter what type of marginalized community they belong to. They're always going to fall back on their whiteness. That's the default. You think that because this person can embrace hip hop culture or black culture in a way, or even has a black spouse, whatever, that makes them family. It doesn't, because this is white tactic 101. You are centering yourself solely here. You're making it about Jewish people. Nobody's attacking Judaism. Nobody's attacking Jewish people. People are standing against genocide. We're standing against the bombs being dropped on the Palestinians. That's what everybody's upset about. Nobody's talking about Jewish people or their religion. That has nothing to do with it. But to invade somebody else's land and try to exterminate those people is wrong, and anybody who says that it isn't is also wrong. Like, I know that you get that, but you're in your feelings because you've always had the privilege of being able to do so. We're not going to go for that. We're not falling for that. Black people, tighten up. The community is what it is. It's made up of us. Stop trying to extend welcomes and invitations to people who really don't belong in our community.
See Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news.
So this MFer right here, who at one point we found hilarious because he went after Trump and he went after the Republican Party, and we were in a lockdown and we were bored as hell, so we gave him a bunch of views and a bunch of likes, and now he thinks he still has a hall pass to go after 3 women of color who are calling for a ceasefire so that more children don't have to die. And he thinks that it's okay for him to get on this app and behave this fucking way. Let me tell you something, Michael. I have been to your comment section. I have read the kind of stuff that your followers are telling you. They're not fucking happy. And for somebody who mainly makes a living off of this app, I suggest, sir, you take several fucking seats. Maybe your wife can tell you, oh, he has a black wife. Maybe your wife can tell you that this is no way to fucking behave. Don't think we don't see what you're doing, Michael.
Just like you could criticize and not agree with the Israeli government.
You know, sometimes we cannot be one-sided in a situation. When I look at my race and I see the negativity that they do against each other, especially if one makes a public humiliation against another fellow black man to ruin and discredit him, I talk about it. When I see a woman who's basically deplaguing her husband so that she can make a storyline and to sell a book, I talk about it. When I talk about a woman who basically got into a situation where he's doing 10 years and meanwhile she's getting herself and transferring and doing a snapback, I talk about it. I also talk about how certain black women are degrading themselves and giving themselves and experiencing something called fat culture. I talk about it. When he looks at his side of his side of ethnicity, he always tried to make it look like that they're innocent, and they're not. When you look at the history, you see all the stratiations and so all the fragments and all the missing pieces of the storyline of what they have done to many other people, especially in Palestine, especially in South Africa, especially in America. Okay, I can make a list, and the list is gonna be more than. It probably put me in community guideline, and it's probably going to make me have to make a part 2 about this. There's a lot of things that the Jewish community have done to people of color, and even did it to people who are Muslims and who are Arabs. Now, the Arabs, they have done stuff to us too. But we look at the storyline that we're in modern times now, and they're still doing apartheid. They're still doing segregation. They're still doing eviction. They're still stealing land from people and lying about it. And they still started this whole entire thing. And then meanwhile, it's the Palestinians are the ones who are in the midst of the crisis. Okay? And then they turn around and lie on top of lie. And then this news media and all the situations that come on into this social media platform, they're basically swearing to them and saying that the Hamas, come to find out the Hamas was an organization that was created by the Israelites. All right? That was formed by the same people who pretending that it is the Arabs and the Muslims are the one that caused the terrorism. Okay? When you look at it, both parties have done demolishing against one another. But when you look at it, you see one party, everybody has to be neutral. I'm looking at all the actors, comedians, and everybody talking about we should be ashamed of yourself. No, your people should be ashamed of us. How about a fellow man named Edward Bloom? Edward Bloom is a man that's against he's the one that stopped the affirmative action that was taking place to give minorities the right to go to Ivy League schools, get a job without restriction. And even for women's rights, he's not targeting the Caucasian women, but he's targeting our women, which is black women. The Fearless Fund, he turned around and took them to a civil court and also took them to a court, which is a trial court, to put a halt on their foundation. So they can't try to provide and help fellow black women the opportunity to own businesses. And that was something like, why are you invading and going against a fellow black woman and her organization? And how is that discrimination when I see organizations of the Zionists helping out their people, even helping out their fellow women, and I see other minorities helping out each other, and I don't see them getting ridiculed for against the campaign that Mr. Edward Bloom is. Mr. Edward Bloom is a Jewish. He's from a Jewish background. And then he's also a Zionist too. And this is not no fake news. There is a list of things that the Jewish community had done to the black community and to the Palestinians and to the Muslim. And you know the ironic thing about it is, if you look at the Muslim religion versus the Jewish religion, it's the same thing. The only difference is the language is different. The only difference is when you go to a Jewish temple, or better known as a mosque, they don't have glass, they don't have figures or anything like that. And they mostly go there for prayer, scriptures, and so forth. Now, when you go to a synagogue, I've never been to a synagogue before. Oh, yes, I did. I went there. It's the same teaching, the same stuff, Old and Testaments. How about you like it if you're living in Palestine for nearly all your life and they tell you you can't worship Christianity? You cannot wear no symbols of cross. And these are the same thing that Adolf Hitler did to the Jewish community, and even did it to the fellow blacks when they formed the Holocaust. So I find him to be very ironic, standing there saying negative things and saying that we should pick a side and trying to be ironic, and then mentioning Kanye West. Kanye West noticed that people that was in your community was stealing from him. And he basically called it out. Okay? And this is not the first time it has been happening. Anytime when you guys do something, we have to look the opposite way. You know how many people been bamboozled from people from the Jewish community? And this is not hate. This is actual facts. We also been bamboozled from the Muslim community too. But for some reason, if you look at the population of the people that are in the Muslim community, they rather welcome Arab black people to come into that community to worship and learn about the Muslim community compared to the Jewish community. They want to keep it segregated, that it doesn't have black or brown. You hardly see any people of black and brown there. And if you do see it, you never see it on pictures. You never see it on social media. They try to wipe us and fade us away. And then when you look at the situation that happened in Rwanda, okay? There were black Jewish people living there, and they tried to isolate them. They tried to assassinate them. You look at Ethiopia, they tried to assassinate them. Look at the documentary of how the way Haile Selassie had died, and how people from the West and the Mediterranean was coming against him. And guess what? He is the heir. He comes from the descendant not only from Solomon, but also the heir of the UK. And they tried to assassinate him. And they tried several times. Look at the history. And why they did that? Because they wanted to not be known that black and browns were a part of the Jewish syndicate too. Malcolm X got ridiculed because they said he was anti-Semitic. They said the same thing to Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey said, you guys do not accept our people. And there's a population of my people that have the same skin color that worship the same religion as you. But you guys don't worship it. You try to segregate us. Okay? Malcolm X said, how can I be anti-Semitic when Muslim people are Semitic? Make that make sense. So before you come with your public announcement and standing against the brick wall, okay, and trying to talk about how dare us, no, how dare you guys try to alienate us, fashion us, segregate us, act like we don't exist. And every time we come with material that shows proof that we are the truth and we're part of Abraham, you try to move us out and say, no, that's not so. So who you think is segregating now? Who is spearing prejudice? I'm looking at you, my friend. Okay? You are the bad guy. You are the one that's coming against us for no reason whatsoever. This is a free country. We make an option to choose. It's not no popularity contest. We looking at the situation because we've been there and we're still been there.
Michael Rapaport. My God, Michael Rapaport. Man, higher learning. He was in Saints Row. He did a bunch of stuff in the 90s and the early 2000s. Comedian Michael Rapaport. So you're probably wondering why I'm just repeating his name over and over and over. Well, quick segue. Why is it that all the comedians that I grew up with, well, not all, but a lot of them, ended up being just like not the type of people I would want to associate in real life, like Sarah Silverman, Ari Spears, Dave Chappelle, Michael Rapaport, Dane Cook for another whole other reason. But Michael Rapaport. So the reason I'm bringing him up is it has to do with the Squad. Now, I have my own issues with the Squad. This isn't one of them, but stick with me here. So Michael Rapaport is going absolutely apeshit here on TikTok against the Squad, and let me tell you why. There was a resolution to send some money to Israel, right? And there was a line in the resolution that you have to agree with once you sign it, right? And one of the things says is that Israel is not racist, nor is it an apartheid state, right? And they said, we can agree with the Israel's not racist part, but the whole apartheid state, it kind of is. So because of that, the Squad refused to sign it, right? And Michael lost his shit, called them racist, called them anti-Semitic, the whole nine. This is the same Michael Rapaport, right? That was anti-Trump, anti-Republican, staunch Democrat, blah, 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 making the TikTok darling making fun of Trump, Michael Rapaport, right? So he goes off on the Squad, right? Just calls him every nasty thing in the book, right? And then he gets so excited because his rant gets published on a news site. That news site is Breitbart. So wait, it gets better. So he takes a screenshot, right? And he posts it to his TikTok. And the music he plays in the background is Kanye West, Jesus Walks. You following yet? You following me yet? Mr. West, Mr. Ye, Mr. I Love Schmittler, Kanye West is the background music in the screenshot of Breitbart. So let's do a quick recap. Jewish comedian Michael Rapaport goes off on the Squad for not agreeing that Israel isn't an apartheid state. Gets mad, cusses them out. Then it gets reported on by Breitbart. He gets so giddy, screenshots it. Then sets the screenshot to Jesus Walks, a song by artist Kanye West, who said he loved a schmatzi. What? I guess higher learning didn't really work out for you.
POC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news.
You're racist, you're xenophobic, you're Islamophobic, and you're sexist. You hate Arabs, you hate Muslims, you hate Latinos, and you hate black people. You don't think we didn't notice that you went after 3 minority women? Who the fuck even are you? You're a washed up actor who hasn't had a hit in God knows how long. In fact, the only last acting job that you did was given to you by a Latino girl, Selena Gomez. So do us all a favor. Go back into your little white hole and shut the fuck up.
Just like you could criticize and not agree with the Israeli government.
This is why social media is so important. You need to know when someone is going to make TikToks like this. Misogyny. I don't even know what you say when a person is putting something on publicly saying that he wants kids to be attacked. What would you call somebody who enjoys children being attacked? What would be the term? I don't know. I would go put it on his comment because he certainly doesn't like it. But this is important. This is why we need free speech. You need to hear the reaction and how irrational the other side will become, and literally, again, put people in danger, put women and children in danger because you feel attacked. That's fucking crazy, man.
But AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news.
I am so appreciating all of these racist celebrities coming out and showing themselves. So he's upset because Rashida Tlaib is against the genocide of Palestinians. Oh, by the way, we're up to 6,500. Doing great, doing great. This is your goal, right? This is your goal. You guys are winning. Must make you so proud. You must be so proud.
You hate the Jews. You've always hated the Jews. It's been one of your agendas.
Speaking of people being totally reckless with their words, the squad does not hate Jews. That is a slur that has been being hurled at them for years simply because they support a free Palestine. The same people that accuse the squad of being anti-Semitic because they want Palestinians to have dignity and freedom and not live under apartheid are the same people that call Bernie, our beloved Bernie, anti-Semitic. And then when you point out, actually he is Jewish and had family that he lost in the Holocaust, they go, oh, well, he's not a real Jew. There's the famous Ben Shapiro tweet where he said because Bernie Sanders doesn't agree with him, he's about as Jewish as a ham sandwich. What are you claiming they lied about, sir? Rashida Tlaib posted about how Netanyahu is a liar, which he is. Or was it AOC calling for a ceasefire? Which lie are you referring to? Is it when he lied about the IDF being responsible for the murder of a Palestinian journalist? Or are you referring to the most recent lie he told, claiming that Hamas were the ones who bombed the Gaza hospital? Quite awkward when his own spokesperson admitted it was the IDF. Like you said at the beginning of your own video, you can in fact criticize and oppose the right-wing, settler colonial ethno-state of Benjamin Netanyahu without being anti-Semitic. I know that there are people who are anti-Semitic and hate Jewish people, but the squad are not. And you trivialize the seriousness of anti-Semitism when you accuse people of being that just because they're calling for a ceasefire.
For a ceasefire, and they have not gone as far as backing the administration's call for support for Israel.
So look, I've seen some of those statements this weekend, and we're going to continue to be very clear. We believe they're wrong. We believe they're repugnant, and we believe they're disgraceful.
I mean, for fuck's sake, there is so much Jew hatred out there. So can we not conflate the squad defending the Palestinians' right to exist with Marge? The same Marge that blamed the Jews for wildfires? The same Marge that was a speaker at Nick Fuentes' white supremacist anti-Jew conference? It's that type of fucking false equivalency that minimizes the seriousness of anti-Semitism.
Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news fucks, you're just...
Well, it's not like I'm surprised nor brokenhearted about it, but it's time to write off another celebrity dipshit for what they really are. Begone, simpleton. Ugh.
You hate the Jews you've...
It's a little embarrassing that in the year 2023, it has to be explained to you that when it comes to the Israel-Palestine conflict, you cannot trust a word that comes out of the mouth of the Israeli government, Zionist, or fundamentalist Christians. That's because their stated goal is to turn the region into a Jewish ethno-state. And they try to achieve this goal not only by committing genocide against Palestinians, but also apparently by blowing up Christian churches and hospitals. And this means that they will use any form of sophistry available to rationalize their barbaric behavior. And one of the ways they'll rationalize it is by saying, oh, well, we had to blow up all those Palestinian children. They were being used as human shields by Hamas. And I gotta stop you right there, because while that might work on your average American, it's not gonna work on me, because unlike the majority of Americans, and unfortunately for your argument, I'm a combat veteran. And my deployment was not, let's say, completely uneventful. I discharged my weapon, I was shot at. At one point, bullets were flying so close to my head that the velocity from the rounds actually jerked my head back. But by far the most traumatic experience was the vehicle bombing I was involved with, because not only was my Bradley destroyed, I also got to experience seeing my friend's dead body lying on the ground next to it. I was playing Soul Calibur 2 with this guy literally the day before this happened. But even though I went through these horrific experiences, not once did I ever say, oh, well, this is a nation of savages, or all Iraqis are violent animals that deserve to be exterminated. Nor did I ever argue that I need to kill these Iraqi children because they pose a threat to my safety. After all, they could have an IED strapped to them, which obviously I'm not a fan of IEDs at this point. Or they could be hiding an AK-47, or they could be being used as human shields. And do you know why I didn't make these arguments? Because it's the rhetoric of cowards. It's the rhetoric of cowards, villains, Nazis, Zionists, and terrorists. But not only that, it's apparently the rhetoric of out-of-touch elite celebrities who not only have never been to combat, but live some of the most comfortable, privileged, luxurious lifestyles imaginable. And yes, this applies to Nepo babies as well as, obviously, washed-up comedians.
Jew haters, you You hate the Jews you've always hated.
Every time I see this guy's stupid face, I'm gonna fucking put a video up about it. Because this man is literally weaponizing being a Jewish man and saying that people of color, he's literally attacking people of color in Congress who denounce what Israel is doing because it's genocide. This man is racist. This man is absolutely fucking racist. Like, I hate this man. I hate this man. Holy shit.
So this is all I got from this video. And number one is that sometimes when black people give people platform, trust me, they eventually will use that platform against you. That's why, like the black woman said, sometimes it's just good to ignore them and their ignorance and the rest of it. Like I keep saying, when you speak up against what is going on as it stands right now, you all can see what is going on and people are trying to condemn it, especially black people are rendering their voices and all that. You are a bad person. Because I don't know how a person in his right mind would think it's okay like to support people coming in genocide. Like, how is that even okay? How does that even sound in your own, like, you know, how does it even look? And do you think, I mean, you sit down and you think this is cool? It is not cool, and there is nothing you as a person can do as a human being rather than to condemn that. You do not even need to be a Muslim or a Christian to condemn what is going on. But to some people, when you speak against it, you are anti-Semitic. When you speak it, you are... So all he did was to come for a black woman and people of color to, like, you know, call them out and all that. But the same person, oh yeah, I think like the other woman said, it was during the pandemic that black people actually gave him a platform. So the same platform they gave him, she said, because people were bored and all that and the rest of it. So the same platform they gave him is also the same platform he wants to use against black people. I mean, it's always good to tread with caution because... Anyways, I really do not have a lot to say on this, and let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.